and start recording. Awesome. And make sure I have the good audio going because sometimes it's not the best. All right,
Much better.
you guys hear me a little better now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So, how you guys doing? What's going on?
All in all, I'm good. I'm just hanging in there, moving forward.
Good, good. Yeah. I've been seeing your messages. You're pretty active. I like how you guys are so active in the group. When you do need something, allowing other people to kind of help you, and as well as you practicing more of something that you understand on someone else. By helping someone else in the group. So I like what I'm seeing a lot. So this week, right? Our focus was more of the agency growth side, which is gonna be that bread and butter of your business, right? So the big emphasis this week was from here on, it's how can we put things in place so that way you can find your client, so that way you can, have the systems in place, assess what type of clients you want to work with, be able to assess new clients on the fly, and then what processes can you go to get them in play as quickly as possible, because that's honestly our goal. And it might just sound like a broken record. I just did this one again. I was at an event a couple weeks ago that I purely went to just to network and meet some people that I knew we're going to need this. And the thing is they don't even know that they don't know about this. Like they don't know what they don't know. So it's my job to put myself in a position of power. And I think we mentioned this in week one. Daymond John's Powershift book is a great audio one to listen to, because his whole thought process it's funny. The book, I think I've started before. I won't mention it, but the book opens up with him having a deal. It's him describing a deal, the person on the other side of the table, how he's seeing himself lose this position of power in this deal, and he knows the deal's not going to go his way. You wouldn't believe who the person is that's running the deal. So I went there to just develop some connections, instantly followed up with people. This is what I'll do. I'll go to events, or I'll follow, something online, whether it's in Clubhouse or it's a live event. I'll see what people are interacting. I'll start interacting with those people there. Then I'll follow up with them. I'll follow them on Instagram. I'll DM them, say, hey, I saw you in there. It was great to see you. Yeah. I'm working on the same things in my business. I saw you, in that live with so-and-so. And then that's a genuine connection right there, right? Like you two have connected on something that you both agree on. In this case, I was at a tech event, and it was actually in esports. So what's everyone there trying to do? The event was focused in economic empowerment. So they're trying to find their niche inside of the space. I just instantly just followed this guy, DM'd him, as well as I did other couple people. I have about 4 appointments lined up just from that event now. One of them I just executed, and I have a deep dive call this weekend. And as soon as I get on the phone with him, it's just, hey, what's going on? Let me get the details about your business. What are you doing? What type of budget do you have? What are your goals? Just the simple things that you want to find out. And then it was just laying out, hey, listen, I'm going to put together something in detail, but the gist of what we're going to do is going to be me showing you that I can bring you something that you weren't leveraging before. And that's all people want to hear. It's going to create that opportunity. So as you guys go forward in your agency growth, that's one of the biggest things. Okay. So I'm just going to list out a couple of the things that were important. I'm not going to dive into every single aspect of what Travis went over, but if you didn't get to, go back and watch the replays. If you felt like something went over your head, make a note about it, ask me in a personal DM, or ask it in the group, or go back and watch the video again, right? These are resources that you have access to continuously. If you hadn't, right, we're setting up the fan page for your agency. And when we're talking about fan page, that page needs to be like a business page is what I would suggest, because it's going to give you access to some tools that you're not going to get if you had just a general like fan page, right? It's going to allow you to connect it with other things across Instagram, and you get different types of tools. So like I actually am doing all this from scratch all over again. So I just was like, all right, I just made a whole new business page again, just because I was wondering if any of the processes are different, because things are always changing in Facebook. So, you're supposed to create your fan page, make sure that you get the permissions inside of Chatmatic. And now I'm making sure that I'm uploading, right? All of these different templates, and I'll go ahead and share my screen here. It's this one. All right. So let's put some annotations on here. So you've got all of these different client getters potentially, right? Where you're walking someone through an advertising audit, right? Where you're walking them through how they can get clients being in real estate. These are all, you want to take these and upload them into your Chatmatic. Once you've done that, then you're going to have the ability to then take that. And now, again, what am I doing? I'm setting those inside of my fan page. So when someone comes, they're going to see that menu and it's going to say, hey, how can I help you? Are you here for real estate? Are you here for e-commerce? What's your thing? And then they click it and they go into the automation so they can see an example of what it would look like. Now, you don't really need to do anything to these bots. You really don't need to do any type of customization to them. But if you wanted to, you might want to add something like, hey, okay, awesome. So now what you're going to see is a detailed way of how we can do this for you. You might want to add something like that, but maybe you don't need to, because when they come, that you feel like it's already explained enough in the way that the template is preset. So that's how you're going to get a lot of people. You're just going to be like, oh yeah, I can help your business. I can help you get more leads as a doctor. I can help you get more leads for your store. I can help you get more leads for your real estate business. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll show you how. Here, boom. You can either text them the link, or, if you're communicating with them on another platform, send them the m.me, whatever it might be, or just tell them to just go to the page and see kind of how it functions. The m.me is going to be a little bit better for you though. We got a question that came in. Where is this at? I don't know why I can't see the chat. Let me go to it right here. Tammy, I saw something come up, but I don't know why it's.
Can I just ask?
Yeah. Please.
What I was asking was,
I see it.
Do you post it all at once, or do you post them, create posts on your business page so that there's multiple?
That's a good one. So it's going to be less important. So what Tammy's asking is, so Tammy follows a lot of what I do on social, and you kind of see what I'm doing with, so I have a big following for my fitness business, right? But my consulting business, like I told you guys, people didn't really know even what I did. It was just like, I was getting referrals. And then once I got the referral, or I was going out and finding these clients, and you just would never know that I did the other stuff unless you went and started going through my Facebook profile. So what I'm doing now is, because I'm moving in some of these circles and I want more of that professional look, I'm like, I'll just go ahead and step it up now. I made an Instagram page from scratch. So my fitness following has around 25K, 24K. This page does not have any following at all. But what I'm doing is I'm telling the story with the marketing. So all these things literally that you're hearing Travis talk about, I literally would write them down as bullet points. And Tammy, to answer your question, yes, what I'm saying? You could easily, in these posts on your Facebook page, you could just put or your Instagram even, right? You can put a call to action that says, if you're struggling with this with your business, or, let's say I specifically make one and I say, hey, are you a doctor, and you're tired of struggling to get clients in, you're doing the same old stuff every single day, day in and day out. Well, here are 2 ways that you can step up your game and increase entry points for your business. I might make give those 2 quick bullet points. And then in the video, I'm going to make a call to action, and I'm going to say, actually, let me start back over, because this is Frank Kern style. If you guys don't, I would highly suggest going and listening to, subscribe to Frank Kern's podcast. I'm going to write this down as well, because I try to make sure I put these in the YouTube video. So let me just go ahead and make this right now. So Frank Kern is one of the top advertisers. His podcasts are super short. They're 4 minutes long, 3 minutes long. And actually what he'll do is he'll take a question from an Instagram live or something, and he'll answer it on live. I'm pretty sure he does this on live, and he also has a phone number people can call in. And then he'll just take that little bit of that question that he's answering and make it a podcast. It's phenomenal. One of the things that Frank Kern talks about as far as when you're making offers to people is the first thing you need to tell people the problem. Okay. 2, number 1. So you need to say, are you a doctor and you are struggling to get leads at the frequency that you want to get them? Okay. I'm going to tell you how to solve that problem. But first, what you should do is go ahead and check the link in my bio or comment below. All right. And I'm going to send you an example of what it actually looks like and what I do for doctors like you. Okay, let's get into it. Point number 1, you give point number 1. Point number 2, you give point number 2. And then the last thing you do is you got to hit them with the with the call to action again. So, hey, listen, I hope that these helped you out. If you take them and put them into action right now, you're going to be able to start getting more leads. But if you don't want to do it yourself, go ahead and click the link below or comment, doctor. And I'm going to send you some information on exactly how we can put some things into action for you. And you know what? We'll just run a little pilot. We'll just run a test, let you see what some of the results are, and then we'll have a conversation after that. Literally, that's exactly how I would do a video or an ad. It's very simple that you're saying what the problem is. You give a call to action. You give the direct solutions to the problem, and then you hit them with the call to action again. And now, guys, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, of course it's easy for you. Guys, I'm telling you, it took me so much practice. Like 2014 was when I started speaking on videos on Instagram. And I'm like walking to my gym, which was around the corner because I didn't have a car because my car got repossessed. And I didn't have a car for like 3 years. Meanwhile, I had a gym, right? If I would have had some tools like this, I would have been able to reach all the clients that I needed to. So I come from a place of like just hustle. Like I'll get it however I have to, So I had to walk to my gym, which wasn't too far, but I had to walk. And so I was like, man, these walks, I should just use them better. I should use them. I should make something. So I started doing it. I started using it to practice and get better. And if it sucked, it sucked. If it was great, it was great. And if I was getting my car washed, I'd walk outside, I'd go walk down the street and I'd walk back. I'd film a video. You know what I mean? I'd go on a live. I'd just start practicing. It was no excuse. What am I going to say? Oh, I suck at this. I'm uncomfortable. Remember what we talked about before about exercising that muscle, right? The more you flex it, the more it grows. And then it becomes much easier. And you're like, I remember 2 years ago, man, I could barely lift up this barbell. And now look at what I'm doing. It's the same thing. Don't get discouraged. Man, I'm trying to start my agency and I've got to connect these codes and I've got to send out just do it, man. It's just that simple. Like you just got to do a little bit right now and do what you can. Look, some people are going to blow this course out of the water and they're going to just get it. And you're going to be like, damn, some people are going to be like, man, I'm not getting these but it's a long game. You know what I mean? And the sooner you have these no's and the sooner you have these, I posted this, Tammy, I know Tammy saw this one. I posted talking about how I get excited when people tell me no. It's like a psychotic thing. It's like, what's wrong with you? When people tell me no, right? I feel like I'm getting that much closer to perfecting my pitch, perfecting my delivery, and also perfecting me being able to deliver the service. Because even if I had a good pitch, my delivery might suck. And even if I had a good pitch and I had good delivery, I could still make mistakes and not perform to where that client wants to stay with me, right? Even if I have a good pitch, I have a good delivery, I have I'm getting great results, I might not understand how to nurture that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of how good you start out, there's a ton of different aspects to this and you're going to want to grow in all of them. So that was a long way of saying, Tammy, I would just start posting. Like the good thing is with this fan page, you don't really need to. Like if I would do it to practice, honestly, I would just do it. Just start an Instagram page. Nobody's even gonna know what it is. Like nobody's gonna really follow it. Like just start practicing what you're saying. Put your m.me link in your bio. And that's what you're going to start to see me do, Tammy. You're going to start to see my call to action in all my videos verbally be, hey, go click the link in my bio and I'm going to show you how to do more of this, as well as I'm going to write that, right? But yeah, just start. I would definitely say, instead of just saying, as I'm looking at some of the stuff here, where was the tab at? Oh, there it goes. As I'm looking for some of the stuff here, I would probably look at real estate. I would look at doctors. I would look at e-commerce. I would look at talking about running a contest. I would look at talking about running a buyer thank you ad. And I would basically say, like, hey, if you're a doctor, if you are in real estate, like again, here are two simple things that you can do that are going to help get you a larger return on your investment. And then same thing. It's like, hey, are you an e-com store? Awesome. Cool. I'm going to tell you why you need to be running a buyer thank you ad if you're not. And again, like the thing is you don't need to make any, I used to think like, oh man, I have to be so smart. No, I just literally go and watch a YouTube video and I'm like, man, that was a good topic. I turn on my camera right here. I just say the same things in my own words. Travis didn't create this. He created Chatmatic, but he didn't create the marketing ideas. You know what I'm saying? He didn't create, there's a lot of things that he does that he's innovating on top of things. But the one thing I think that people forget is it's just about taking action and a little creativity. And the biggest things I saw was when I got comfortable, man, did I ever tell you guys how I used to get so much anxiety to get on sales calls? Oh my God, it was so bad. Like I was like, my calendar's full with what I call intro calls. So I'll have like a 10 to 15 minute intro call. And what I do is I instantly, when I get on, I'm running psychology on the lead. I'm basically saying, hey, I'm so excited to talk to you. Like, I'm so fired up to talk to you. I wish we had more time, but I have an appointment right after this. So I'm going to try to keep this really short and to the point. And we'll plan on setting up a more in-depth call after this. I already set the table, right? I already set the table. And so the calls weren't even that long, but I was so uncomfortable. I just was like nervous, like, man, I have to follow this script, and what if they think it's not genuine, and I have to have my screen set up the right way. And like, just once I got over that, and the more I did it, I was just like, randomly somebody would be like, oh yeah, I'd love to talk. I'm like, how about now? They're like, okay, yeah. I'm literally like driving in the car with my girlfriend, just throwing my headphones, throwing my earbud, turn down the music, and I just start I don't even need a script anymore because I've started to do it so much, right? So same thing with you guys. I just want you guys to know, like, it's okay to be nervous and uncomfortable and feel like, but just do it. When you feel that gut feeling, just go for it. Just do it. So, all right. Anybody else have any other questions? I said I wasn't going to talk that much, but then I get excited and I just want to share with you guys some of my like past struggles.
I do.
Hit me, Deborah.
Yeah, Tammy has been really a good help, but I'm still stuck. So
No
thank
problem.
you, Tammy. I got further, but I still didn't quite catch it. In the Chatmatic, my page was blank. Well, she showed me that I have to add a fan page. Well, so
Right.
I tried to do that, but it just, I put in my link for one of my pages, from a page, and then I put an add fan page, and it says no page content found to content, no page
Yeah,
found.
every now and then I've seen that happen to actually right now I'm dealing with the same thing. And sometimes when you create a page, it'll also make another like business account, and you won't be actually listed as the admin of that. For instance, like it'll make it and like so on Facebook, right? My name is Marcus R. Watts.
Right.
Marcus R. Watts. When I just made the page that I was telling you guys about, that page was under I created obviously from inside my account, right? But this is why it's better to create those pages from inside of your business manager account and not just from Facebook. Because when you do it from inside your business manager account, it is directly linked to that business, to that to that like business manager account. So Marcus R. Watts is what I'm on Facebook as, right? Well, this one was managed by the business Marcus Ray Watts, which is my full name. Right. So when I went to the admin panel, I could do stuff on the page. Like I connected it to my Instagram and stuff, but it did not have me actually listed as the admin. So when I went to try to add it to my Chatmatic, it wasn't like, I couldn't even find it to add inside of there. I'm like, oh, and I kept like refreshing. Like I like disconnect it, connect it one more time. I'm actually going to try mine again. If you're still not seeing it, the one thing I would say is, actually, you know what? Let me just pull up.
Also, while you're pulling that up, I friended you, and you still haven't received. Do you not like? No, I'm teasing.
Of course. I'll check it. I'll check them right now.
That's fine.
Let me see if I pull this. There it goes, right there. I'll tell you how, Tampa. All right.
So a fan page on your personal page is different than a business page.
Yeah, you want it to be a business page.
Okay, so I get business manager. That's what. See, I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
words are completely new. So everything
Yeah,
I'm
that's
doing,
okay. That's
I
okay.
have to YouTube it or search it or do
Yeah.
something.
That's what yeah, that's me. That's me.
Okay.
All right, I'm trying to look this up right now. Okay, here we go. All right. So I'll share this with you guys. So, um, this is the actual page. I'll share this Google Chrome. Okay, so let me go back one more time. This little thing is in my way here. You guys can't see it, but it's this little tab. There we go. I moved it. All right. So let's go back to the page. So, this page is called "I'll Tell You How Tampa" because I'm specifically focusing on targeting people in the Tampa area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you notice, it is connected to my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is actually already pulling content from my Instagram page. I'll post it to the IG and then I'll push it here. Now, when I go to page roles, edit page info. Oh, it's under page settings. Page roles. See right here where it says Marcus Ray Watts.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. This should have like, as the page owner, it should have like my main Facebook as the admin of the account. So, what you have to do is it's just stuff on the back end of the business account. I hadn't got around to fixing it, but I'll do it this weekend. And actually, what I'll do is once I do that, Deborah, I'll let you know. Oh, we got Matt coming in right now. Once I do that, I'll let you know. But have you submitted a ticket on that just yet?
No, because the only thing I
Okay, yeah.
on the fact that it just was like it's blank. I didn't know how to get in there. Unfortunately, Tammy got me going in the right direction. But
Right. So have you gotten it connected at all?
No.
Okay.
So then the next question I have for you is like I see you like you've got something about Tampa. I'll do something for Tampa. I can make several pages, like a real estate page. Like if I want to.
Oh yeah.
So I make they don't have to have I don't have to have a web address for them. I just
No,
have to
you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. Now I would say somebody like you because you and I spoke a little bit about your background. Yep. And you have such a deep connection in real estate. You might want to have one specifically where you're going to talk about real estate, right? And it's not really much to it. What you're basically saying is like, I have my fitness page and then I have my agency page. But let's say I had deeper connections in like you do inside of real estate, but I also have a family member or another deep connection to e-commerce because I did some stuff working in e-commerce. I might specifically you can make as many pages as you want. And so when someone goes there, they might say, oh man, this guy's all like e-commerce. This guy's all real estate. And you've just got one or two automations, based off the template for e-commerce that are inside of that. So when they click on the page, the box will come up, grab their attention when they first visit, right? The persistent menu. They'll click one of those options that says I'm in e-commerce and maybe you have one that says I'm running ads or I'm not running ads, or you say, hey, just general, I'm in e-commerce, and then you can send them into a flow based off that message. Okay. But again, for right now, I would not do all that. I would just say start right now and your emphasis be real estate. That's fine because we know that you have a bunch of connections to leverage inside of that. And one of the first conversations Deborah and I had was, hey, listen, a lot of people are going to be trying to find a niche and they're going to test a few, but you've got contacts for years inside of this space and you have other people that you can leverage. Just dedicate your initial space to that because that's going to probably get you your highest ROI.
All right. And then see, I had one more question. Totally forgot about it. Oh, I know.
And Deborah, I just messaged you as well. So you should have gotten my message, and then I didn't have any from you, but I just messaged you. So let me know whatever we need to do to connect. Okay.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. And then where do you put these videos? Are they on YouTube or these training videos that you're?
Yeah, these ones are on YouTube. I'm not sure if the last one post it
Under
correctly, but I'll
what?
share it in the group. Once I post this,
Okay.
I'll share it in the group so you guys can go
Perfect.
back. Yeah.
And then lastly, that I need to ask is, I don't find any, I mean, I've been going through the training sessions, but some of it doesn't make sense until I can get into Chatmatic and actually do something, right? I
Got
have
you.
to working with it. But
Yeah.
there's no
But your
real,
page isn't connected yet. So we need to
Yeah.
do that first. So yeah, so your thought process is, so I would say this right now, I would submit a ticket to Trent, and then you and I, let's just get on and see if we can't do a screen share.
Okay.
You know, tomorrow or Sunday. Well, let's see if we just can't get on. I'm willing to do that for you, especially, you know, us knowing that you came in
Yeah.
a little bit behind and you're doing everything you can. I just want to support all you guys. And actually what we'll do is, maybe if we get on, we'll just let everybody else know that they can hop on if you guys want to.
Yeah.
We'll just post it in the group. But yeah, so I would submit a ticket right now. Tell Trent that you created that page. And then when we get on, we'll go and look at the back end and we'll see how it's connected to what ad account and, you know, what's doing what and how things are looking, because I'm pretty sure it's that same problem that I mentioned. And this didn't used to happen with Facebook. Like if you made your fan page just from inside of your own Facebook account, it would automatically make you the admin. But as you saw, even with me, I created it from inside of Facebook, not inside of my business manager account, and it assigned like pretty much like a whole new account to it. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, God damn it. So
is there actual trainings, like maybe in 2020s, is there trainings on how to even get all this started? In other words, I had to go to Tammy to ask this question, or you or somebody. There's nobody, there's no training in there, because I checked it out on 2 hours and 40 minutes out on the first message. He says, go into Facebook and look under units. Well, there's no units for 2021. And I didn't, so I've tried to get into 2020s.
And you're talking about, and specifically you're talking about on making, going from creating your fan page to the connection.
Yes.
Got you. No problem. No problem.
So there's no training on Chatmatic or anywhere that I can find so far that I can do this. You know what I'm saying? So it stalled me for about a week without. And I've been searching like I say, Tammy was a lifesaver.
No problem. We don't want you to search for stuff. So a lot of times it might be, I mean, it's insight too. Like that's another reason that we have coaches for this, because we'll go back and be like, hey, yo, somebody had a problem with this, because it says, if you have not set up your fan page for your agency, it says it right here. It says, please save fan page creation in pre-week 8 training modules. But that's this week. You're not on that week yet. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You're not on that week. So you wouldn't have seen where it says, hey, if you have not set up your fan page, that it's walking you through how to do it. So go back to the pre-content.
I did.
Yeah, go back to the pre-content and let's look through it. But like I said, you and I together, like we'll get on this and we'll figure it out together.
I've been through the pre-content, and that's why I'm hoping that in Chatmatic 2020, Pro 2020, because it has the units in Pro 2020, but I have to get okay to get in and blah, 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 blah. So I thought maybe they've got it in there versus, because they don't have it in 2021. There's no.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Tammy just said that there was now, I didn't get all these emails, but was there an email that you guys got about starting Chatmatic training outside? Okay, got you. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna message Travis right now about that. Because that was probably something that wasn't a part of the standard operating procedure, and he did that when everyone initially started. So, but either way, you and I will connect this weekend. If other people want to get on, I'm going to message Travis about getting that, because that Chatmatic training outside of this is good for you to see, because it's going to be just walking through those small connections.
Right. Perfect. Thank you. That's
good insight. No. Good. And something else is, I would say this, and I know that you and Tammy connected, but if you guys, and sometimes like if I don't respond quick enough, just like mention me again. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I honestly turn off so many alerts on my phone, you guys, because like my phone isn't even ever, you never hear a sound come from my phone. Like it's always on do not disturb. Like I go and I check that either it's a call, or when I get a break, I go and I look at my phone, because as you guys see, like, you know, and if you check some of my other accounts, the amount of content that I create is like, and it's all with the goal of getting leads, it's just can be too much for me sometimes. So
Sure.
if I don't, but you guys are a priority. So if I don't respond immediately and you are stuck like you are, Deborah, I don't want you doing something for a week. Just like grab me, pull me aside, and like if I can't solve it, then I'm gonna find somebody that can. So
And I do it through DMing.
yeah.
There's
Inside the
nothing-
group, you can tag me or you can just message me directly because I check my
Yes, sir.
Facebook messages. Yeah.
I couldn't do that because you hadn't approved me on Facebook. I wasn't your friend yet.
No, but we were already messaging. Once you message someone, you don't have to be their friend. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
sorry. This is
Hey, no,
this
hey,
reminds me
you
of
don't know till you know.
This reminds me of walking into Spain and having no language at all and having to figure everything
Oh, I know that. I know that feeling. Spain is super intimidating too. When you don't, it's not like other places where like when you don't know the language in like Germany or like Denmark, people are kind of in Spain and you're like, what is happening right now?
Right. So bear with me while I learn the language and learn.
No, 100%. And like I said, like this is a template that we would love everyone to be spot on every single week. And those of you guys that started and we're not behind, like, yeah, like that's your main goal. But at the same time, there will be small things that you will have to have a makeup day or something on, you know?
I picked up a lot, but I can't practice it.
Right. But yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I picked up a whole lot, and then I need to go back because I'll probably hear a whole lot more once I start practicing.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, no, thank you. This is
Okay.
this kind of gave me breath again. It's like, okay,
Good.
I can do this.
No, don't worry. We're here.
I haven't
We're
done
here.
yet, but I'll get to it. Thank you guys.
All right.
Appreciate
Anybody else have any setback? Oh, Tammy, you said that the approval for the Kartra integration to Zapier. I wonder what we can and
I do have it now. I'm behind because
okay,
now
you
I'm
just got
trying
it.
to-
You just got it. Okay,
I
yeah.
just got it. So now
All
I'm
right.
trying to get everything to connect.
So if you get behind on something, this is what I would say. You know that, for instance, like this week, like you know what the goal was of things to do with your agency. So I would what I've had to do is just block out time for courses whenever I get a little bit behind. If there's something I'm like, man, the first time I had to go and like get assets made for like a funnel, you know how you get the boxes made and it like looks super professional. It's got the image and all that. And you make more. I went through all the work of like hiring somebody to do it. I found them on Fiverr. I was like super fired up. And then like I gave them the wrong dimensions of the stuff. So like, and it was not easy to get them to make adjustments, but they did them, but it just wasn't in a timely fashion. They probably didn't have to do them. So I was like 4 days behind on the course. And I was really, in that course, it was like, every day there was something new for the week. So it was like something Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then like Friday was a makeup day, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday was a makeup day and Sunday was supposed to be an off day. And like it got me almost like 2 weeks behind. But what I had to do was just start setting aside time in my calendar. Like just like you would book your appointments, again, just book out your learning, and book out your implementation. A good thing is a lot of the stuff, when we have access to the tools, right, you're going to just be able to follow along with, maybe watch it and then go back and then do it. Right. So that won't take you as long, but like we talked about with the 10X rule, I guess, 10 times, right, the amount of time it's going to take you to learn something, that's probably a little bit overzealous, right? You can't say I've got an hour to do this task or to do this lesson and I'm going to spend 10 hours on it, right? That just does not equate. But I would say that the 10X mindset is a great one for you guys to have here, which is, okay, I've got an hour. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, from what I've learned so far in the course about how I take this information in, right, for where I am with the tools, maybe I need 3 hours to be able to absorb this Monday lesson. Maybe I'm gonna, maybe I'm gonna watch half of it. Then I'm gonna go back, pull out my laptop, do the actual work while I watch that half of it, because now I know what I can fast forward to. What I like to do is while I'm watching, I'll just make some notes like, at this time stamp, the screen stuff started. You know what I mean? At this timestamp, like this is when that's what I'll do the first time that I watch. And then that way when I go back, like I'll go halfway through or I'll watch all of it. I'll go back to those spots and then I'll do the implementation. So just think about how you guys can set yourselves up for success and just plan, like just plan that I'm gonna have an issue. Something's gonna come up that I don't know about. There's gonna be something unforeseen, and it might be me or it might be a bug. Because in the end, this is all tech. You know what I mean? And there are gonna be bugs, and like, unfortunately, we're with any platform. I mean, I remember this with ClickFunnels. It was like there was a point where ClickFunnels had a really, not the stuff that we're dealing with Chatmatic, but ClickFunnels had like a time frame where they started trying to do everything, like messengers. And I remember like Travis actually reached out to Russell and was like, hey man, like I have this platform, like, because Russell had been talking about messenger marketing for a while. And but they weren't really trying to, you know what I mean, I guess partner with Travis, which I felt was kind of like, because he was a 2 Comma Club guy, you know, like he came up in the ClickFunnels system, but that's another conversation. So, but they were trying to do it all on their own, the messenger stuff, the email stuff. And like, I was somebody I was a ClickFunnels user, but none of it functioned really well. And so a lot of the bugs that were found ended up making it better for later. So, not saying that's a thing that we should be happy about, but when you do find these little things, they're not huge issues. When you do find them, like, report them, follow up on them. Let me know if you're hitting a roadblock or if you hear something back and it doesn't, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't work. It's obviously not a 400 million customer service team, but like, they should be minor things that once we figured out that we can keep you guys, you know, on track. So never going to get away from it though.
No, I just want to say the reason that I cared so much is because I'm starting my ad, and I wanted to make sure everything that I was doing with the Chatmatic
gonna have the best opportunity.
Goes through everything is the only reason I cared, not because I'm trying to create something else.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. And like, yeah, I'm glad, especially those of you guys, some of you guys may not be, but those of you that are using the automations and stuff, you know, with CardShare, the emails, all of that, it's just going to make your life so much easier. And something that I would say too is when you're looking at the copy that are in these emails, when you're looking at some of the conversations that are happening in the ads that Travis is given as examples, guys, that is a blueprint right there. One of my buddies just hit me up the other day, and he was like, hey, you know, what do you think of this video for an ad? And he sent it to me. And I was like, it was like way too long. First off, it was just him sitting in his car, and it was him talking probably after he worked out or something to the camera. And I was like, there are some gems in this video, but this is not a good ad. Number one, it's way too long. Number two, I'm not excited. And number three, you told me the benefits, but you've given me no pain points. So the reason that I give that example is if you want to know how to put a good ad together, just go watch good ads. Like, just go watch Travis's ad. Like, it's that simple. Like, you know, one of the first things I learned was model, don't copy. Model, don't copy. So I'll go and look at Travis's ads, and there are a couple of things. There's gonna be a hook, right? And then there's gonna be an offer. So when you're scrolling and looking at ads on someone's page, let's say someone that's doing what you want, or Travis, right? I'll just start scrolling, looking through his ads on Facebook, and something will grab my eye. Like, what was the visual disruption in the timeline, right? Then I'll evaluate what I see. Well, it was that yellow color. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was the pineapple. You know what I mean? It was whatever it might be. From there, I take a note on that. Okay, cool. Then I go to what's the offer, right? What's the conversation that's happening to get people interested? So then I'm like, all right, here's a conversation, here's the offer. And then I just go from there. Then I go to the next page. Like, what's the hook? Which probably taking me to a landing page, right? Or maybe it's taking me to Messenger. What's the hook? What's the thing that catches my eye most? All right, what's the offer? And then I take notes, and I literally just go build it like that. That's how I make social media content. That's how I build copy. When we were at the Bots in Business, and my brain was just fried after 2 days of it. You know what I'm saying? So we had to build copy for an ad. And it's funny because Travis mentioned this. He was like, you know, at the Bots in Business, I like stood out because people were just kind of, you know, gravitating to myself and Jamar. And so I took on writing the copy. I was like, you know what? I'll write the copy. You guys do the back end of that stuff. You guys grab the images. So you know what I did? I looked up one of my favorite marketers. I just went to Billy Gina's Marketing's Facebook page. I looked at a couple of his ads. I was like, and I looked at the conversations. I literally copied the ad, put it into one screen, and then on the other side of the screen, I wrote copy modeling the conversation that he was having to fit the business that we were creating an ad for. That's it. Like, it's no need, like literally line for line. I said, well, in this line, he's opening and he's creating excitement. Okay. In this line, he's kind of relating himself to you. Oh, okay. In this line or in this sentence or in this paragraph, he's doing this. It became so much easier for me. And then again, I'm looking at Billie Jean's videos. I'm looking at Travis's videos. What are they like? You're going to just gravitate to certain people and be like, you know what? I like this person. I like how they do their stuff. It's working for them. Doesn't mean it'll work for you, but at least visually, like presentation wise, like that will work, right? So, you know, you don't know what type of audience they have. You don't know what type of emails they're plugging in to run their targeting to. You don't know what type of demographics they're running to, but you at least can know that the front end of your copy and your ads can be pretty solid. So I know that wasn't something that was specifically asked. Yeah, exactly. I know that wasn't something that was specifically asked, but if that's something I could do, I'm just thinking of pain points that I had where there were times when I was like, okay, like I gotta write this copy now. You know what I mean? Oh man, I have to do this visual ad now. And I was like, sometimes my brain just did not have the capacity to go and be super creative, right? And also I didn't know how to write copy. I really didn't. Now I'm on teams and I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, Marcus can do it. And I'm like, excuse me? like, yeah, Marcus can write the emails. Marcus can write the copy for this. Marcus can write the social media posts. And I'm like, damn, I've really grown a lot in copywriting, but that's just because I paid attention to people who write good copy. Oh, something else that I do, guys, is on Instagram, start clicking ads more. So when there's an ad, like it, comment on it, click it and go to the link. And why? The reason I say that is because Instagram and Facebook will start sending you more ads, right? Like those. So if I'm on Instagram and an ad makes me stop and watch it, I'll look at it first and be like, okay, was it just a good initial timeline disruption, or was it actually a good ad? And then from there, if it's a good ad, I'm like, I save it. I literally have saved posts on Facebook and Instagram that are titled ads. So when it comes time for me to create an ad, you think I'm really going to sit down here and like, I don't have my whiteboard in here because my girlfriend, she's home now, right? She's working from home. So I'm like, I got delegated to my man cave, which is now like an office/man cave. My PlayStation isn't even set up in here anymore. But you think I'm just going to go like create an ad from scratch? Listen, hell, I do not have time for that. I'm going to streamline everything. What are the last 5 ads that I saved? What sectors were they in? Do I want to use these colors? Do I want to use this conversation? Yeah, I like it. Cool. Let's do it. Literally, that's how I did the scripts for my videos and everything. If you listen to you guys want to hear something funny? Okay, so my podcast, I'll put it in here right now. I think this is it. I have a shortcut. My shortcut's not working. I'll put it in the other group. I don't know why. Sometimes my shortcuts don't work. The introduction for my plant-based podcast. Verbatim, it is almost exactly the same to Russell Brunson's introduction to his podcast. Because I love Russell Brunson's podcast. I love it. Go listen to Russell Brunson's intro for his podcast. And then my podcast is called The Vegan Transition. Let me see if it'll work. Okay, there we go. I think if that one, I'm going to click this. This one is either going to take you to the podcast or it's going to take you to scheduling for my podcast. Let's see which one it is. Okay, yeah, it's the one for the podcast. Okay, it did. Okay. So just go listen to one of those and just listen to the intro. I filmed it like literally, I was sitting over my laptop like this because I didn't have a mic yet. I didn't have the money for a mic. I was just talking over my computer. I watched a bunch of videos on how to edit in GarageBand, and I just bought some background music and threw it on the back. That's a great example of just like, all right, like this sounds really good. I'm just going to model after it, not copy it, obviously. Because I'm talking about living plant-based. But if you hear the delivery, it's the same. So I even found music that kind of was on par with it. So that's another great podcast that I suggest. And something else, now that we're on this conversation, I hope that this is helpful stuff to you guys. Purge your timeline. Purge your timeline. Once a year, I unfollow friends, family, anyone I've followed recently in the last year who is not giving me quality content. Now, the content that I'm looking for are things that are in alignment with my goals. So I'm going to follow on that business page, you'll see the people I follow, right? Tammy, Russel Brunson, Simon Sinek, Travis, other marketers that I know locally. I'm following people who make really good ads and people who make really good content. On my fitness page, it's the same thing. People who motivate me, people who make really good content, people maybe that I want to partner with or that I might want to get as a client. So like make sure that your social media is used for you. You know what I mean? So that way you can grow. When you're consuming stuff, you know, and I really don't ever just scroll on social media. I almost never do, but I try to make time to just sit down and just see, all right, what are people, not for my own amusement, but what type of content are people creating? Like what type of ads am I seeing show up? It'll be really, really helpful for you. So I said I was going to keep today short, but here I go again. Just love connecting with you guys. All right, hit me. Anybody else got another roadblock, or are there any, like, you know, one of the things that we initially spoke about when we had our one-on-one calls was, you know, do you have any, like, you know, environmental, you know, obstacles, you know? So is anybody having problems with, you know, finding the time in their schedule? Is anyone having problems with, you know, unsupportive people, or, you know, just what type of things are you struggling with?
So, I apologize for being a little
No,
late.
I like it. No. I'm glad you're here, man.
So, I had an issue this week, and I think it's resolved. I haven't actually gone in to make the adjustments to the sequence, but I had
Yeah.
I had a problem with sequence getting stuck,
Mm-hmm.
and we went back and forth with Trent a couple of times. Anyways, long story short, I just posted what he put into the ticket.
That's great.
So
Yep.
everyone's. So the particular step in the sequence I had, it was very dense, and it took a long time to get through. And evidently, if you exceed 80 seconds between the video and the
Yep.
typing, the typing delays, and whatever other text and anything that you have in there, I guess it shuts down.
Yep. Got you.
So,
Yep.
so the video was fine. It was about 40 or 50 seconds, and it was well below the 25 meg. But between that and the other, I had 2 or 3 little, 4 or 5 little chat, segments in there.
Got you. Where you weren't. Yeah. Got you.
And this, I just posted in the chat window here what Trent put together as far as the ticket is concerned. I'm not gone in and fixed it, as I mentioned, but
good to know. Yeah, it's basically having a between a video and typing delays. You just want to. It has to be more of like a consistent conversation, and that kind of would help.
Yeah, and just not make that particular one so long.
Yeah, but that's a good one. That's a good point, Matt, because you're doing something that like I had to learn the hard way I didn't really know that it was this. I just knew that I was in it, and I was frustrated that it wasn't working. So I never knew that it exactly was this, but I was frustrated that it wasn't working. And then because of that, I just started all over and I made it shorter. Cause I was like, man, is this too wordy? Am I trying to be too conversational? So that's another really good one. Sometimes I would look, and like a really good thing, of course, is just going back and looking at Travis's. But like Travis, you guys get the notifications and stuff like from Travis, like, right? Where he's hitting you in Messenger. So I just look at how he put those conversations together, and I was like, all right, this is way more streamlined than I do it. Like, you don't need to be all fancy and all. It's really cool when you have like a really good GIF, like when people would put in their email and I would tell them that I'm sending them like a freebie or something, like, having something from Mean Girls or something, funny where people, that's really good. But yeah, like how can we get it as straight to the point as possible while still being personable? That's one of the most important things. It's got to feel, and that's what I would ask my friends and family. I'd be like, hey, go test this bot for me. And they would go and they'd be like, man, this is so cool. Like, it really sounds like someone is just having a conversation with you. And I was like, okay, cool. And I would just take that feedback.
Economy of words, I think is
got it.
Is a good thing.
Good.
So one other thing, actually 2 other things, and I probably should put this into a ticket, but I use Chrome, And I am not able to figure out how within the same little chat window to put space between lines. Like if I hit tab, it doesn't, you get what I'm saying? Like if you have a sentence and then you want to leave a little space below that, but have it all be within the same
box.
window delivery.
I think I can help you with that one. If you hit
Right.
the shift and the return, it'll give you an extra line in Chrome.
Shift return?
Just hit shift before you hit return.
Yeah, I always hate.
It'll give you an extra line in Chrome.
Yeah, it's kind of like where I always hate when it just doesn't return. I do hate that. Yeah. That's like in Slack. I don't know if you guys use Slack or some of these other platforms where you can choose to make shift and return be where it actually sends the message. Yeah, Facebook didn't let you do that for a while either. It didn't let you, like, it wasn't easy to like just put a space in your conversation. So, yeah. All right, try that out and come back and let us know. Good feedback, Timmy. Because it's funny because even some of these things, like, I haven't run into, because if I see initially that it doesn't look the way that I can't get it to be that way, I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'll just make another message then. So this is good feedback because it's little things that let you be more personable, and it's little things that let you guys make the flow conversationally that is genuinely, authentically you. So
I had one other quick question.
Hit me.
If I could, please. And that is in the pre-training, not the live sessions that he did, but in some of the other material, and I think it's left over from last year, but they talked about setting up a fan page, and they talked about setting up a separate page for your business under the business brand name. And I haven't heard that addressed. And maybe, did you guys just talk about that? I thought I heard.
Yeah, we were, because the question was, should it be like a fan page or a business page? Like a fan page is kind of like what Travis has, right? Like Travis has like an initial like Travis Stevenson page, and then you can connect pages to other pages to be like in that same ecosystem. So you can have like, let's say like Deborah was talking about making a real estate page. You can have a fan page that is like Deborah Bentley, and then you can have, Bentley Real Estate, and you can have Bentley Marketing, and then you can have Bentley whatever else. And then all those can show up as connected like inside of the pyramid. Yeah, it's not essential, but that's kind of what we were talking about before. Tammy was like, well, should I have a fan page or a business page? To do all your ads and stuff for your agency, you want to do that like from a business page. If you want a fan page and you can connect them, that is where the conversation was about in this week, where he talks about going back to the pre-8-week training modules, and there's under fan page creation. I think he walks back through that. So I'm going to actually pull up where exactly those are, and I'll share those again. But more than anything, you already have your business page already, right?
Yeah. And I've had it. So I have a page that is essentially branded Matt Hempel. Got you. Right.
So yeah, so you can connect,
I've had that for a long time. And right. I've also had the Digital Access Pro page. That's the name of the company.
So like I have, again, like for my agency side, I don't have as many pages, but like for my other business, for my fitness business, I have like the Watts Guy, which is like my fan page, right? But at the same time, it's a business page, right? Actually, I used to have that just as a fan page, and I got rid of that and made that a business page, but that's like the home base page. And then underneath that, I have like 5 or 7 different groups that I have. Some are like the vegan transition. Some is like a private group. That's another business page, the vegan transition page. Then there's like private communities inside of those for different programs that I've hosted, different courses that I've hosted that fall inside of health and wellness as either a coach or like a client who's looking to get fitness results. So they kind of all start to show up as connected. And the goal is like, once someone sees one, that like, they're like, oh, when they're in the group, they're going to see those other pages are connected, and they might want to go there, and then you kind of get them in other ways to interact with other pages. But I'll double check with Travis on like what he suggests for that. And like I said, I'll go back through that content that was in the pre-8-week training, and I'll make sure that I'll probably just do a little video walkthrough.
Okay. Yeah, I've been active on the, the Matt Hempel page, but not the digital access page.
Got you,
And
got you.
they're both business pages essentially.
Yeah, yeah. And this is kind of what we were talking about earlier before you got on about how I started from scratch with like a new Instagram page. So that blueprint that I've got a few different types of content that I'm going to be putting out on that page, and then I'm just sharing that content to the actual business page. So that way it looks like there's a little bit of flow on there, and everything I'm talking about are solving pain points for potential clients.
Cool. Thank you.
Something else when it comes to creating content, guys, is you'll see I just did one. So that page is called It's Marcus Watts. So on that one, let me go to it right now. On that one, you're gonna see posts like this one right here. It's the one that's right in the middle with the purple writing, right? It's the one that I look like this, where I'm talking, where I'm wearing that. You're gonna see that that's a series of content. It's like 5 videos that I recorded right here. I just set my phone up and I just wrote down like 5 topics and I just recorded them. That simple. And then they're literally like 30 seconds long. You know what I mean? Because if you want to make it a reel, it's really good to leverage reels. Just because Instagram wants you to do more of them because of the competition with TikTok. That's their answer to TikTok. So if you do a video, just try to do it as a reel if you can, right? And it's not going to change you doing anything, actually. You're just going to record your phone in portrait mode, right? And then they can't be longer than 30 seconds. So like I said, that account is It's Marcus Watts on Instagram. And you'll see what I'm doing. And this might be a really good blueprint for you guys to just follow as well. But yeah, I just literally wrote down like 5 things. I recorded individual 30-second videos on them. I've got 5 images, and that gives me enough content. If I wanted to only post every 2 or 3 days, obviously that could spread it out a ton. But if I was posting every day, I've got enough content for 10 days. I would not focus you guys right now on social, like making all this, because it can just be overwhelming. But I would say start posting every 3 days. Just something. Get used to creating content. And who cares if it sucks? If you think it sucks, it doesn't matter. Because again, I'll get on camera and people are like, man, you're so good on cameras. No, I had to work at this. You know what I'm saying? I had to, before I make a video, I would literally go and watch. I'll be like, who does great videos? I go watch him. All right, he did that. And then I just would go and model after it. So the only reason I make social media content, like I said this yesterday on a live, I was like, literally guys, you would never see me on social media if I did not have to be. I dread it because I just don't want to give my energy to social media, honestly. Now, the world doesn't work like that. If I want to be present and I want to have an opportunity to grow my business, I have to find a way that's good for my mental health and that is sustainable for me. I was burned out. If you guys look at my social media posts on my fitness page, like I hadn't posted anything in a while. Like you might see me post once every 2 weeks. Like that's not good for interaction. Instagram's not going to work for me. Facebook's not going to work for me. I'm not putting out quality content that makes people want to stay on here. So when I'm posting my ads, it's going to work against me. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make it even that much more pay to play. And it is pay to play right now. So I just recently found a rhythm that I like. And that's what you're going to start to see me do. So, I mean, maybe it's following my social or maybe it is, following someone else that you like. But I bulk create content, like get like 5 images and just write a bunch of stuff that Travis says, you know what I mean? Or record yourself, maybe do a series. And this is just an idea. Maybe do a series on, I kind of already started it, like 2 tips. So, hey, I'm going to give you 2 tips on getting leads. I'm going to give you 2 tips on why you need entry points. I'm going to give you 2 entry points to use. I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 2. Just talk about 2 things or just one and make it. This whole series is going to be about leads. Then this next whole series is going to be about why their ads maybe aren't performing. And somebody might be like, oh, you run a bunch of ads? No, I'm starting to run them, but I know what does and doesn't work because I've invested to become more of an expert than you in this. And that's all you need to do is know more than the person that you're making your offer to. And we're not robbing anybody. We're just saying, hey, like, I'd love to just collect some data and run a pilot for you. If you like it, let's talk. If you don't, Let's not. It's that simple. Matt had or Deborah had asked a question. She said, Matt, what did you use as a category for your name business page? Oh, you probably mean how you can choose, like I chose like agency, like marketing. But you can choose like 3 or 4. You can put a bunch of them. And the reason that they let you choose a bunch is because it's that much more searchable now. So when somebody's in your area, when you put your city and stuff like that, when somebody's in your area, they're going to find you first. And it's that much easier for you to talk to people locally. It's like, oh yeah, I'm in your area. Then I can go to their business after I search them and, oh yeah, I already know what they're doing. You know what I mean? But I go in and spend some money there, have a conversation. So
I think I'm listed as business service.
Business service. Yeah. I put like marketing and like a consulting agency, advertising, marketing, consulting agency. But again, like then the content on that page is just going to be general stuff speaking about it. But guys, I will say this, you don't really need to have a ton of content on your page. Do not think like you have to, because you're going to go find the clients. And like we're doing in week 3, the conversation starts to be about how you can find someone to go, finding freelancers, to go and get appointments for you. It's not going to hinge on the content. What that stuff will help you do is just work on your presentation and work on establishing your footprint. Like, again, Tammy, like I think you and I had this conversation, or maybe we didn't, but I just started that business Instagram page. But I've been inside this space since 2016, 2015. If you count when I had my gyms, 2013, where I had to really dive into marketing. So my footprint would have been that much deeper, and people would have seen that much more of my growth, since then if I'd started it. But
Marcus,
I thought it was a great time.
Did you create your Instagram page through your Facebook business page or business account as well?
No. I just did it on Instagram, and then I connected it. Yeah. That's why I was a little bit, and all of those speak to your Facebook. So when I went to connect the Instagram to the Facebook page that I created, it was no problem, right? But when I go to connect it to Chatmatic, it doesn't list me as an actual owner. It's like Marcus Ray Watts. I'm like, who is that? I never used that on Facebook like that. So, but again, that's just why it's better to create all of those pages from inside of the business suite, probably. So we all deal with it. So yeah, anybody have questions on content? Anybody have questions on like any setbacks? I hope you guys are getting a lot of value just hearing a lot of these little nuggets. I try to just keep dropping them, because when we start talking about content and stuff like that, it's just, it can be overwhelming, honestly. It's like I was saying when I was on the live, and I'm making a commitment to show up on live every other day. It costs you nothing. It literally costs me nothing to turn on Facebook and do a live and talk about something. It does nothing. It costs you nothing but energy, right? Same thing on Instagram. Like I'm making a commitment to myself to get back into just showing up. In just 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 27 people hopped on. I was like, oh, that's cool. You guys are asking questions. All right, awesome. Now, at first, nobody's going to show up. Question is, are you? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be like, I'm just not going to show up because nobody's here? Or are you going to continue showing up and using this as an opportunity to hone getting comfortable at some of these things that maybe you're not comfortable at, finding out what your audience wants? Yeah. Did you have a question, D?
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to share real quick. I am a very social person when I see someone in person, but not so comfortable being on a live. So on the side, I have a group that I'm the admin of, and here locally, and it's an unemployment group, and that I've had since everything started last March, and it has like almost 9,000 people in this group. So I've been and as things change, the last maybe I would say 3 weeks or so, I started doing lives, which I never did. And I gotta say, when you first do them, it's kind of intimidating because you don't like just like this. Yeah. You don't like to look at yourself on the camera, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I kind of enjoy it because there's, there'll be a few hundred people that'll jump on because they know something's going on and they want to hear what's going on. And it's making it easier for me. So it's almost like I'm helping them and I'm practicing, and it's really been very helpful. to just
Spot
go
on.
there and talk to, my people in the group and help them. And what is really funny, I don't know if this is a good thing, but because, I'm on an island and kind of everybody knows everybody now, because they all see me, I'll be like walking in Walmart
Yes, it's good.
and someone will walk by and they'll be like, "Hi, D." And I'm like, "Hi."
Yeah.
I have no idea who these people are,
Yeah.
but it does make it easier for me. So it's been good practice to, do those every so often. Now they look forward to the lives and they're like all excited if I post that I'm going to be doing a live for whatever reason. Sometimes I just do a live just to check up with them and kind of encourage them, and not that anything's going on, just to kind of chit chat with them. But it has been very helpful. So I would suggest that with everyone to just, try and do a few lives, because it does make it a little easier. Or go on TikTok and do, a few TikToks and post it, even if it's not a live TikTok, because
Yeah.
you get more comfortable seeing yourself and you can, see how you're responding or reacting to people, and it just gets you a little more comfortable. So it has helped me quite a lot, actually.
No, and actually, you need to leverage that for sure, because these same things that I'm talking about, right? Like, let's say you get on and you say, "Hey guys, tonight I'm going to come on, I'm going to talk about some things that I'm doing, in this crazy time." And I just thought I would just start sharing some of that of what I'm doing. And you can come on and, maybe even say like, some other ways that like I'm making money, and maybe it'll help some of you guys out. Well, D, you got a whole course of things to talk about. Well, I didn't know what affiliate marketing was, and now I know what it is. So this is what I'm trying to do. And that's that right there. And then you know what you're doing. You're establishing yourself as the go-to source of information, which is the whole purpose of social media. The other thing you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position of power. So they're going to want to come to you for just a general conversation. You never know what it can turn into.
Right. Well, it's interesting because, because I've been doing this for so long with them, and I'm in the same type of situation with them, that the know, like, and trust thing, it's like automatic. Like, they're posting, well, if D said this, then I'm going to wait for her answer or whatever. And they're messaging me. Like, this week, honestly, I was a little behind because of the amount of things that was happening with our unemployment process here, with all the people messaging and, posting and just trying to help out as many people as I can. So a couple of days, it's been a little struggling for me to just get things done, but it has helped. So, it is true. Once you build that relationship with them, they definitely know, like, and trust me in that arena. And, which in turns, when I do a live, they're like all there. And then they're telling their friends that they're all there, which is kind of funny to me. But
I like that. I like it. No, you're on to something. You're on to something. I'll tell you that much. Something else that I'm doing, it takes a little bit more work, but you do get clients from it. It's just being a part of groups and just giving quality interaction. Like, I would make posts and just make it very in-depth, very, very much giving quality. And people would just start hitting me up like, "Hey, I saw you posted in the group," or, 300, 200 comments, 400 comments, 800 likes. It's like, I could never get this on, maybe you could never get this on your own page. You know what I mean? But now you're going somewhere and you're establishing yourself as a person who's got some good information. So keep doing what you're doing, for sure. I like that. I really like it. And, maybe we'll just talk a little bit more about, how you can leverage things that you're doing in the course for what you're doing with your social and some of those tactics as well. And maybe next week I'll specifically talk about some of that. But I will challenge you guys, like, hey, let's make a plan. Like, I'm a bulk content creator. So again, like, I got a setup right here. I just have a little, I don't know if you guys can see it. I have a little cheap ring light. Get it on Amazon. I have my camera, but I can just literally put my phone right on here. Like, I don't use my camera to make all that stuff. Like, I just recorded a video that some of my nutrition clients had a problem. So I just took the problem that they had and I made a video of it. And I'm going to kind of be doing the same things with conversations that we have, with putting more stuff on that YouTube, because like I said, if I didn't have to be on social, I wouldn't, but I got to play the game. We all do. You know what I mean? That's what's going to give us the ability to, get that financial freedom and security that we're looking for by growing other arms of our businesses. So All right, this one, I probably went longer on this one than I went on any other one, even though I said I was going to be shorter. So we'll cut this one a little bit shorter unless you guys, we'll cut this one here unless you guys have any more specific questions. But it seems like everybody's in a good state of mind. I will say this, you guys are continuing to show up every week, and not that people that are not coming are any less important or anything like that. But I do find that in these courses and programs, people that stay more engaged with the herd, they have a much higher opportunity later on. And even if, you know what I'm saying, you still feel like you're a little bit behind or you're not getting just you, I mean, picking up these little gems, something is going to stick for you. So maybe it was only one or two things from this whole conversation that are going to stick for you, but they could be a tipping point for you. So, Deborah, you got me now. You can DM me now. All right, you'll hit me up, and then we're going to try to figure this out. Maybe we can connect this weekend on that. Submit a ticket if you haven't already to Trent on how you're unable to connect that, and he'll probably give you a list of some of those things. And I'm going to go through some of that pre-week content again to see like what some of that might be and if that'll help any of you guys. But yeah, that's all I have for you. This one's a little bit longer, so it might take me longer to upload, but I'll get this uploaded. Today we didn't have a bunch of resources, but the book the podcast that I mentioned was the Frank Kern podcast, all right? Russell Brunson's podcast, and then also comparing Russell Brunson's podcast intro to my podcast intro and just hearing how I used the copy of modeling, or I used the process of modeling something. I literally listened to it like 10 times and I wrote it down line for line what he said, and then I wrote my own copy to fit it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, that's all I have. And get out there and get publishing, get practicing publishing, right? The more you publish and you get comfortable saying things and you get comfortable with making mistakes, the better off you're going to be. And last thing I'll say about when it comes to publishing or creating your ads and stuff like that, don't spend forever trying to do all this editing and all that stuff. If you can't outsource it right now, that's okay. Do whatever you can, as simple as you can. Use your phone, record on your watch, whatever it might be. Like, do what you have to be able to make these ads, to be able to get this copy, and to be able to publish on your social to tell the stories to grow your business. Okay.
Marcus.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.